Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Spring Porter with Spring Solutions LLC. In this video, I'm going to be doing a part 2 to a video that I did previously in which I discussed why Chapter 13 cases get dismissed and why there are unclaimed funds available in Chapter 13 cases. If you're interested in knowing that, please stay tuned. This question comes up a lot when you're dealing with potential clients, so it's important to know how to answer these questions. If you're interested, please stay tuned. Please note that I am not an attorney. This information is not indicated as legal advice. So just earlier this week, I had two different cases from two different districts, and one asked me specifically, why was my case dismissed again? My attorney never really explained it to me. How are their funds available? And then I had another case where it was an actual lawyer who called me because his client was dealing with a different matter, and he gave him my letter. And so the guy was like, I just want to make sure this is legit before I give it to my client. And I say, yes, it is. I had to actually explain to him why there were funds available because he's not a bankruptcy attorney and he was unclear. So it pays to know your information, to do your research so that you don't lose potential clients, right? It adds credibility when you're able to read a court docket and you're able to answer their questions and even anticipate what kind of questions they're going to ask you, right? So James Wilkerson, this is the case. This is not one that I'm working on, but these two examples are pretty good. So the Eastern District of Arkansas, this case here, James Wilkerson, this is his Chapter 13 plan. It looks like he's paying $12.50 a month, and he's in for the long haul of 5 years. So again, Chapter 13 cases can last anywhere between 3 and 5 years, and this is how much he's supposed to pay. Now, if you go further down, you'll see what is included in this particular fee. So that fee includes payments to his attorney, the trustee's fees and expenses. They're all sort of broken out here on what those fees are. It looks like the debtor paid $255 to his attorney prior to filing, and the remaining part is paid through the plan. If the debtor had child support, that would be here, or spousal support, that would be here. And it looks like the only secured debts that he has, secured debts again, are debts secured by collateral. Those are here. I see a car and home, PRJ, Visa. I'm assuming that that's a car. I'm not sure. But two vehicles listed here. And the monthly payment is there. And so that's it. There's no mortgage or house listed. That's it. It looks like he filed bankruptcy maybe to keep his cars and maybe just to pay down unsecured debt that he was dealing with. So let's find out why his case got dismissed. So this is the trustee's report for Mr. Wilkerson's case. And in here it talks about the dismissal. So the trustee writes that basically this case was filed in November 2012. It was dismissed prior to basically the plan being confirmed. And at the time of dismissal, this is the amount of money that was held. So basically the debtor is deceased, it says here. And it says that the trustee tried to notify the debtor's daughter and any potential heirs of the funds held by the trustee. However, the trustee has not been provided with any information regarding a probate estate or an administration for the debtor. So the trustee really tried to find out, someone who could claim these funds on behalf of the debtor, but was unsuccessful. And maybe at the time that he filed, maybe a probate or estate case was not filed yet. So maybe someone could research that now, or maybe just reach out to other family members, cousins, whoever, to see if maybe they can claim it for this particular debtor. So this is a nuance that could come up. Somebody's case could get dismissed because they are sick or they got deceased. They became, they died. So this is one case. So this is why this one got dismissed. And let's go back to the other one. So Miss Payton's case, again, Northern District of Texas. She filed, she's getting money back, and this is the amount. So let's go to her particular plan and figure out what she was paying and what happened. So I'm always discussing how different the plans look per district. This one, the plan looks like this for the Arkansas case. And this one in Texas, it looks like this. So again, the forms are different, the rules are different. In each particular state, they adopt their own interpretation of bankruptcy cases. So you have to kind of read through this stuff to make sure you're knowing what you're reading and you're understanding. Chapter 13 plan here. Let's go down and figure out what Miss Payton was paying at that time. So it looks like she also was in a 5-year plan. It says 60 months here. So she was paying $600 for 2 months, and then it jumps way up to $1,500 for the remaining months. And this situation right here is the exact situation that happened with that potential lead that I mentioned earlier. She called, she was unsure why her case got dismissed. So, and no one could explain it to her. She couldn't get the lawyer on the phone. No one was helpful. They gave her the runaround at the courthouse. So I went back and I read her plan, and I let her know. I said, "Did you know that your payment changed?" And she was unaware. She was paying the first payment and she wasn't paying the second one because she was unclear. And I know for a fact that a lot of attorneys do not make it very clear to their clients this particular plans. A lot of them don't understand what they're paying. They don't really understand the concept of this. And so it's just a missed opportunity, really. So again, this is this particular debtor's situation. And in that fee of, the $1,500 and $600 that's listed up here, she's paying her attorney's fees. That always has to be listed in the plan. It looks like she paid $1,000 to her attorney before filing, and then the remaining part is in here. And then she filed to keep her house. It looks like there is an arrearage that's here that she has to pay to keep her home. And then she has, I guess, a current monthly mortgage amount of $1,143. So in addition to paying back all of these, arrears and the lawyer fees, she has to keep up with her regular monthly mortgage payment, her car payment, her household bills. Everything is still becoming due. So Chapter 13 cases are expensive, and they fall apart because people can't keep up with that level of payment every month. I mean, they're already strapped for cash. How are you expecting them to pay now two accounts, essentially, the court and their regular bills, when they couldn't do it in the beginning? So again, people don't really understand what they're getting into. This is a list of their unsecured creditors. Um, and that's essentially it. So she filed to keep her house. Now, her case was dismissed. Let's find out why. This is a motion to dismiss, and it says specifically by the trustee, the debtor has failed to deliver to the trustee or file with the court a copy of their 2007 taxes, right? So one of the requirements to filing a bankruptcy, and even in the questionnaire by the bankruptcy attorney to their client, the first few questions is, have you filed tax returns for the past 2 to 3 years? Can you provide a copy? Because that is something that the trustee actually needs before you go to the meeting of creditors. They want to know you are who you say you are, and you're making the amount of money that you said you make, and you're not really hiding any assets, or are you due a return? So they're looking for all of those different things that you can find on the tax return. And if you don't supply the return, then your case will get dismissed, as you see here. So not only did she not file her tax return, she also was in trouble with her mortgage, as we saw, that $11,000, right? So her case was dismissed, and here's the trustee's report for this case. On the second page, it says that the total amount paid on behalf of the debtor, and this is to the court, she paid $11,700. Now, it's funny to me that her arrears were $11,000, but yet and still she paid $11,000 to the court. This money doesn't go to her mortgage right away. It goes to the court first, to the trustee. It seems like she could have just had that money and put it on the mortgage, worked out an agreement with the actual lender. But I mean, that makes sense to me, and I hope that makes sense to you. But instead, she put all this in the court, and then the case falls apart. So she paid $11,000. The lawyer got paid. The trustee expenses were here, and they took that money out, and these other expenses were taken out. And so once all these were deducted, she's left with $8,000, right? And it's so sad. She probably lost her house, and yet she has money sitting here that she doesn't even know about. So these are the types of things that are just, it's mind-boggling, but this is what happens in these cases. So here you have it. You know why her case got dismissed. You know what she was supposed to pay. You saw her plan. Now, in the event that you call her and you're like, hey, Miss Peyton, would you like to work with me? And she's going to be like, who are you? What do you know about my case? Well, then you can tell her what you know. I know that you were paying into the plan. I know that your case got dismissed because you didn't file tax returns, but did you know that you had money coming back to you? So use this to your advantage. And just let them know like that you are aware of what's going on in their case. This is what I do on occasion. I don't get this deep in every case, but sometimes you have to, right? Especially, if it's worth the amount. This right here is sort of worth it to me to go at, especially if you're doing maybe 35%, or maybe even 40. It depends on the state, you know what I mean? So this is what happens in these particular cases. So I'm hoping that this is helpful to you. You need to understand how to answer those questions. If you're stumbling when someone says, why am I getting money back? And you're like, you're going to lose credibility. You're going to lose a potential lead because you have not done your research. So please try doing this. Again, it's helpful to you. It adds credibility to you, and it puts them at ease when they know, hey, that you know what you're talking about. So if you're interested also in knowing my numbers for my YouTube channel, I think I'm still at 176. I'm getting closer. And I will keep you posted on, the requirements for that particular contest. All right. So I will see you in the next video. Please let me know if this information is helpful to you. Please continue to share, like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.